So let's go ahead and then see what we have to solve for in these two cases here, right? So the first case, we have capital E divided by the lowercase e equals to capital R plus the lowercase r divided by the lowercase r. So what are we solving for? The lowercase r. So we have this equation here. We have a fraction on the left, a fraction on the right. So what are we going to do? The best thing to do is what? Cross multiplication, okay? So we're going to cross multiply here for these two, all right? So cross multiplying, so that means we're multiplying r by e. That will give you what? That will give us re, okay? Capital E, right? Equals to e times capital R plus lowercase r. Remember, what are we solving for? Lowercase r, correct? But we see the lowercase r here in the parentheses, stranded in here. So that means we gotta free it, correct? By doing what? Multiplying e by capital R and e by lowercase r. So we bring this one down. This is equal to what? E capital R plus e lowercase r. All right? So remember, we're talking about r and r, so we gotta bring those two together. Okay? Doesn't matter which one you bring to the other one, but in this case, it's better to bring this one from the right to the left one, so that you have the two of them right there. So that'll be negative ER, negative ER, and what's going to happen? This one is out, so you end up with RE minus ER equals to E capital R. Interesting, correct? Because you cannot combine these two together, right? Remember, because this one is capital E and this one is lowercase e. So they're not the same thing. So you cannot add or subtract. So what are we going to do here? We're solving for R. The best thing to do then, take the R outside, okay? Take it out. So once you take it out, what is left? So if you take R out from this one, capital E left, minus when you take R out, what is left? Lowercase e, okay? And then this is E capital R. What are we solving for? Lowercase r. So that means we have to remove capital E minus lowercase e. By doing what? Dividing, because there's a multiplication between the two of them. And then to undo it, we do what? Division. So we divide by capital E minus lowercase e. Whatever we do on the left side, we do the same thing on the other side, right? So, or if you want to, you can put this one in parentheses if you want to. You don't have to, okay? So this one is E capital and then lowercase e. So what's happening? This one is R. This one is out, okay? Then we end up with lowercase r equals to what? E R over E minus E. So capital E minus lowercase e, okay? So the final answer is R equals to lowercase e times capital R over capital E minus lowercase e, and you are finished, okay? So that's how we solve for such a problem. Now, that's question number one. We have question two on the right side here. So what's happening here? So we have x minus 2LW over 2W plus 2L equals to H, and then we're solving for L. Very interesting problem, right? So the same thing that we did before, we have a fraction here, we have another fraction here, just that we don't see the full fraction because there's an invisible one underneath the H. And once we have it like that, what do we do next? Cross multiply. So we're going to cross multiply, and then that will give us what? So that will give us 1 times anything stay the same thing. So this one is going to be S minus 2LW, correct? Equals, that's for the first one. So 1 times this stay the same thing, equals to what? H times 2W plus 2L. And what are we solving for? L. So that means the first thing we got to do is to remove this one Okay? Remove the parentheses so we can free the L. S minus 2LW equals to what? H times 2W will give us what? 2HW. And H times 2L, that would give us what? Plus 2LH. All right? Okay? And then, don't forget, we now want to combine, because we have L here, and we have also L there. So we got to combine them together first. Okay? So to combine them first, that means put them together, okay? So when we want to do that, because this one is a negative here, it's better to take it to that side to make it a positive, okay? So that means we're going to have 2 plus 2 LW plus 2 LW. Once we do that, this is out, okay? And then we end up with S equals to 2 HW plus, so this one is plus 2 LH plus 2 LW. All right? And then don't forget, we have the L's here, but then this one then got to go. Okay? Because the mindset is we want the L's together so that we can, solve for it. So this is negative 2 HW, negative 2 HW. So that we can take this one here. So this is S minus 2 HW equals to 2 LH plus 2 LW. Are you with me? Okay. All right. So let's go. All right. So what's happening then is we need L. So L got to come out. L is the common factor for these two. So that gives a 2H left plus then 2W left. And then this one is S minus 2HW. Okay? And now that means we have L by itself because that's what we're trying to do. Because remember, you're solving for L. So that's the reason why we moved it so that we can have those two together. And then once we have that, now we can pull the L out as a common factor. And then we end up with the 2H in plus 2W in. Okay? Then once we have that, now we can divide both sides by 2H plus 2W, 2H plus 2W, because we need to remove this one. We need to cancel it. So once we need to cancel that, this is out. So we end up then with L equals 2. So L equals 2, then S minus 2 HW over 2H plus 2W. So I'm out of space. That's why I'm trying to get this one fitting so that you guys can see it. So in any case, we end up having L equals to S minus 2 times H times W over 2 times H plus 2W. All right? So this is what we're talking about. This is what's happening. So we are good to go. And then we love it. Okay? So thank you.